And when I get there, the lady is actually on top of her car doing a dinosaur impression, and the police are dancing around her in like some tribal dance. Why do you always start the camera on me?
Because you're gorgeous.
Ooh. No.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a story to tell you because it is Story Time Sunday. Actually, this is the later Story Time Sunday. You usually do Story Time Sunday right in the morning on the way to breakfast. But we are doing it at 7:26 p.m. So put on your pajamas and your diaper because it's gonna be a doozy.
He's funny. So today's story is about once upon a time in a far, far away land. We went to my mom's karaoke bar one night. Well, she runs karaoke there. It's not her bar. But anyway. So we went there one night and we were leaving. It was like, what, 2 in the morning?
Nah, I don't think quite that late. I think it was around 1.
1 in the morning.
Something like that.
It was in the early
AM.
And we were driving, and all of a sudden, like, I just happened to look over at James, and then all of a sudden he swerves the car, and he's like, whoa, and I'm like, what? He's like, get in your lane, lady, and like, this girl was like swerving all over the road. It was so scary. And then what happened? She went into...
So she came into our lane, and I had to go into the oncoming traffic just to avoid her hitting us. And I'm like, wow, what the fuck? And then...
Language.
I know. God, I gotta stop swearing. And so I'm like, wow, is this lady drunk or something? And then I told Alicia, I said, just get ready to call the police if we need to, because the drunk driver really pisses me off. And then all of a sudden she's driving, and she just drives up onto the curb, and
like starts going off the curb. You see dust flying everywhere. It was so scary, and I'm like, oh my god, this lady is for sure drunk.
So what happened is she bumped it, and then drove right on top of it, and then came back. Mm-hmm. So we called the police, and we're like kind of following her, and eventually she pulls into this like flower shop, gets out, and we pull out in front of her, and we're just kind of watching like, hey, wow, what the fuck? Sorry, language again. Because sorry, I get into these stories, right? And oh, you're looking at Duke. And so I love that people like Duke,
right?
And so we get into this flower shop, and we're watching her, and she gets out of the car.
And she starts, it looks like she's throwing up.
Like projectile vomiting.
From
like
beside her car.
Hard puking from the side of the car.
And then I don't know if it was water, what it was, but she started like chugging something back. And I was like, if this lady is literally drinking and driving, like what is wrong with you?
Seriously, it's so messed up. And like, I'm sorry, but if you are drinking and driving and you take your own life, that's your fault.
I wasn't pregnant at that point, right?
No. Like, that is your fault. You caused that. But my worry is, you could kill somebody I love. You could kill someone, just like anything.
Anyone loves.
You could kill somebody else, and you could live scot-free, and your conscience may have to deal with it, if you're an okay person. But it just boggles my mind that they would do that. So...
we called the cops. They were on their way.
And then, I think it was Alicia actually said, are you okay?
Yeah.
To this person. And I think she just kind of waved and like...
she was like, yeah. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're clearly, like, wasted. You should not be driving. Why you would even think to do that? Like, I just can't believe it.
We were 5 minutes from the highway. Mm-hmm. The way I go home from work, we were 5 minutes from the highway.
So crazy.
It's so scary. This person could have been driving along the highway, and you never know what happens. So eventually the police, they show up, and we're waiting. They're not talking to us. I'm like, okay, I'll just go. They have our phone number. So we leave, get about halfway home, and they call us again, and they're like,
we need you to come back and make a statement.
Yeah, so I go back, make a statement, and when I get there, the lady is actually on top of her car doing a dinosaur impression, and the police are dancing around her in like some tribal dance. I'm just kidding, that didn't happen. That would have been cool. So I'm sitting in the cop car and I'm talking to the officer. I've written way too many reports working security. So I write up the report and he just goes over the report with me. I'm like, so just how plastered is she? I ask. And he said he's surprised she made it to the car or something like that. Like she was just wasted. Way, way, way over the legal limit. And yeah. And I do not regret calling at all. I would do it again in an instant. If I see someone's driving dangerously, I actually called the police one time on a bus that was kind of driving dangerously, and I gave him the bus number and everything like that. And I pulled up beside the guy, and turns out he was driving like this on his phone with a bunch of kids in the back of the bus. Like,
it was a school bus?
Yeah, school bus.
Holy crap.
Like, are you freaking kidding? See that?
People are crazy. Like, I'll never understand some people's thought processes. Boggles my mind.
Like, okay, if you are not driving it, you need to realize that vehicles are not toys. They are tools, basically. They are extremely dangerous. They will kill you. They will kill somebody. Don't mess with them. Mm-hmm. Be safe.
And you always have those pedestrians that are walking and they're like, oh, if they hit me, I'll just sue them.
Ugh.
Okay, if you're dead, you can't sue anybody.
Can't sue beyond the grave. So be safe. Be alert. And that's our story.
That was our story time Sunday. It was a short but sweet one this time.
Short but sweet. And excelente. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. If you have a similar experience with a drunk driver, please let us know. And if you do see someone driving and they appear to be under the influence, please call the police. Don't take it into your own hands. Just get them off the road and be safe. Good night.
Make sure you go upstairs, your crate being heard, and a taxidermy parrot.